Have you ever looked at successful people and wondered, what do they do differently every day?
I used to think they had more talent, more money, or more luck than me.
But then I discovered something surprising.
It wasn't talent. It wasn't luck. It wasn't some secret shortcut.
It was a simple daily routine.
And honestly, at first, I didn't believe it could make a difference. Waking up a little earlier, planning my day, changing a few small habits, it sounded too simple.
But after a few weeks, my energy changed.
My focus changed.
My confidence changed.
And little by little, my life changed too.
So what exactly was this routine?
That's what we're talking about today.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Michael.
And I'm Sarah. If you're learning English, you're in the perfect place. Today's conversation uses real, everyday English, spoken slowly and clearly, so you can relax and learn naturally.
Whether you're cooking, driving, studying, or just relaxing, listen carefully and enjoy the conversation.
And who knows, you might discover one small habit that changes your life too.
Let's get started.
Okay, Michael, so I want to start with you because I know you've talked about this before. You went through a big change in your daily routine, right? Like a real transformation.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, Sarah, when I look back at who I was 2 years ago versus who I am now, it's like looking at two completely different people.
Really? What do you mean?
So 2 years ago, my mornings were a disaster. I mean, a total disaster. I would wake up, and this is embarrassing to say, I would wake up at like 10 or 11 in the morning.
Oh, wow. Okay. No judgment here. I've been there too.
Right? And the first thing I would do, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, the very first thing was grab my phone. Before I even opened my eyes properly, my hand was already reaching for my phone.
Oh, I completely relate to that. That used to be me too. You wake up and you're already scrolling through Instagram, checking messages, reading the news.
Exactly. And by the time I actually got out of bed, I already felt stressed. I felt like I was behind, like the day had already started without me and I was chasing it.
That's such a good way to put it, chasing the day. Because that's exactly how it feels, right? Like you're always running after time instead of being in control of it.
Precisely. And chasing the day, that's a great expression to remember, everyone. It means you feel like you're always running behind, always trying to catch up with your schedule.
So what changed? Like, what was the moment, the turning point, when you said, okay, I need to do something differently?
Great question. So I had this friend, his name is James, and James was one of those people who, had his life together. He was calm, he was productive, he was happy. And I kept thinking, what is his secret?
Oh, I know someone like that too. One of those people who makes you feel like you're doing everything wrong just by being around them.
Exactly, but not in an annoying way, in an inspiring way. So one day I asked him, I said, James, man, what do you do? How do you manage to always be so sorted?
Sorted. That's a great word. For our listeners, sorted in British English means organized, prepared, in control of your life. Like, I've got everything sorted means everything is under control.
Exactly. Good catch, Sarah. And James looked at me and he said something so simple that at first I thought he was joking. He said, Michael, I just wake up early and protect my mornings.
Protect your mornings. I love that phrase.
Right? And I laughed. I literally laughed at him. I said, James, that's it? That's your big secret? And he said, yes. Try it for 2 weeks and tell me how you feel.
And did you try it?
Not immediately. I was skeptical. I thought there's no way that just waking up earlier is going to change my life. But about a month later, I was feeling so burned out, so exhausted and frustrated that I thought, okay, fine, let me just try it.
Burned out. That's another important expression. Everyone, burned out means you feel completely exhausted, mentally and emotionally drained, usually from working too hard or not taking care of yourself. I'm totally burned out. You've probably felt this before.
We all have. So I set my alarm for 6 a.m. And Sarah, I'm not going to lie, the first morning was rough.
I can imagine. After sleeping until 11, 6 a.m. must have felt like the middle of the night.
It felt like someone was punishing me. I remember sitting on the edge of my bed in the dark thinking, this is a mistake. This is a huge mistake.
But you kept going?
I kept going. Day 2, still rough. Day 3, still not great. But by day 5, Sarah, something shifted.
What do you mean, something shifted?
Something shifted means something changed, usually in a subtle or internal way, like a small click in your mindset. I started to feel calm. I had time before the world woke up. No one was messaging me. No one needed anything from me. It was just quiet.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. That early morning quiet is like nothing else, is it?
It's magical. And I started using that quiet time for myself. Reading, journaling, just sitting with a cup of coffee and thinking.
Okay, I want to ask about this specific routine because I think our listeners are probably wondering, what exactly did you do every morning? Like, can you walk us through it?
Sure. So my new morning routine, the one that actually changed things, was pretty simple. Not complicated at all. First thing, no phone for the first 30 minutes.
Ooh, that's hard.
It is hard, especially at the beginning, but it's so important because the moment you look at your phone, you're reacting to someone else's agenda, someone else's messages, someone else's posts, someone else's problems. You're giving away your mental energy before you've even done anything for yourself.
Wow, I never thought about it that way. Giving away your mental energy, that's powerful.
So no phone first thing. Then I would drink a big glass of water. Sounds so basic, right? But after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated. Water wakes you up better than anything.
That's actually something I started doing too, and it really does make a difference. I used to go straight for coffee and I would feel jittery and anxious. Now I drink water first and then coffee, and I feel so much more balanced.
Exactly. Then after the water, I would go for a short walk. Just 20 minutes. No podcast, no music at first. Just walking and thinking.
Just walking in silence?
Just walking in silence. And this felt very strange at first because we're so used to filling every quiet moment with noise. But those 20 minutes of just walking and letting my mind wander, that's when I would give my best ideas.
Let your mind wander. That means to let your thoughts go wherever they want, without forcing them. Like daydreaming, but while you're doing something physical. It's actually really healthy for creativity.
Exactly. And then after the walk, I would sit down and journal for 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, journaling. Okay, I have to be honest. I always thought journaling was a bit, cheesy. Like something teenagers do. Dear Diary.
I thought the same thing, but journaling isn't about writing your feelings like a diary. It's more like thinking on paper. You write down what's on your mind, what you're grateful for, what you want to focus on that day.
And does it actually help?
It completely changed how I think. Before I started journaling, I had all these thoughts swirling around in my head, worries, to-do lists, random ideas, and it felt overwhelming. But when you write things down, it's like you're clearing space in your brain.
Oh, that's such a good analogy. Like cleaning up your desktop on a computer, deleting old files to make it run faster.
Perfect analogy. Exactly like that. And honestly, within about 3 weeks of doing this routine consistently, I noticed something really different. I was calmer, I was more focused, I was getting more done, but feeling less stressed about it.
Okay, so now I have to share my story because mine is a little different. Can I?
Please, go ahead.
So my routine change didn't happen in the mornings. Mine happened at night. And I think this is important because not everyone is a morning person, right? Some people are night owls.
Absolutely. And night owl is a great idiom. A night owl is someone who naturally stays up late and feels more alert and energetic in the evenings, as opposed to an early bird, someone who wakes up early and is most productive in the morning.
Right, and I've always been more of a night owl, so trying to force myself into a 5 a.m. morning routine was never going to work for me.
That's such an important point. And I think a lot of people make the mistake of copying someone else's routine exactly, without thinking about what works for their own body and lifestyle.
Exactly. So my problem wasn't my mornings, it was my evenings. I would stay up way too late, like 1, 2, sometimes 3 in the morning, just mindlessly scrolling through my phone or watching random YouTube videos.
Oh, the YouTube rabbit hole. We've all been down that path.
You start watching one cooking video, and 3 hours later, you're watching a documentary about penguins in Antarctica.
How did that happen?
Nobody knows. It's one of the great mysteries of the internet. But anyway, the result was that I was always sleep deprived. I was going to bed at 2 a.m. and then waking up feeling groggy and foggy-headed.
Groggy and foggy-headed, two great expressions. Groggy means you feel weak and confused, usually just after waking up from bad sleep. And foggy-headed, or brain fog, is when you can't think clearly, like there's a cloud in your brain. You've probably felt both of these.
Awful feelings. And I would drink like 4 cups of coffee just to function, which would then make it hard to sleep that night, which would make me more tired the next day. And it was just this vicious cycle.
Vicious cycle.
A situation where one problem causes another problem, which then makes the first problem worse, like a circle of bad things feeding each other.
Exactly. And the turning point for me was when I read something, and it stuck with me. It said, "Your morning doesn't start when you wake up. It starts the night before."
Wow. Say that again.
Your morning doesn't start when you wake up. It starts the night before. Because how you sleep determines how you feel, and how you feel determines everything. Your mood, your energy, your focus, your relationships. That's genuinely profound, and it's so true. I think we underestimate sleep so much. We completely underestimate it. So I decided to create what I now call my wind-down routine. Starting at around 9:30 p.m., I would do things to slowly signal to my brain that it's time to rest. What kind of things? First, and this was the hardest one, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and left it in another room. Okay, that is hard, because what if something important happens? And that's what we tell ourselves, right? What if something important happens? But honestly, how often does something truly urgent happen at 10 p.m. that can't wait until morning? Almost never, when you think about it. Almost never. So I stopped using that as an excuse. Phone away. Then I would dim the lights in my room because bright lights tell your brain it's still daytime. That's actually backed by science, right? The blue light from screens and bright lights suppresses melatonin, the hormone that makes you feel sleepy. Exactly. So I dimmed the lights, make a cup of herbal tea, chamomile is my favorite, and I would read an actual physical book, not on a screen. Old school. Old school and absolutely magical. And within about 20 minutes of reading, I would feel my eyelids getting heavy, my body would just naturally start to shut down. That's beautiful. So instead of fighting your body's natural rhythms, you were working with them. Exactly. And the difference in how I felt the next morning was incredible. I went from waking up exhausted and foggy to actually feeling refreshed, like my body had actually recovered overnight. And it sounds simple when you describe it, but I know from experience, the simple things are often the hardest to stick to. Oh, absolutely. Because simple doesn't mean easy. Simple means it's not complicated, but easy means it requires no effort. These are very different things. That's such a good distinction. Something can be simple to understand, but still require discipline and commitment to actually do. 100%. And I think that's why most people fail at building new routines. Not because they don't know what to do, but because they give up too soon when it feels hard. How long do you think it takes to actually build a habit? Like to make it feel automatic?
I've heard the popular idea that it takes 21 days, but honestly, from my experience and from what I've read, it's more like 60 to 90 days before something feels truly automatic.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The first 21 days you're building awareness. The next 21 days you're building consistency. And after that, it starts to feel like part of who you are, not just something you're trying to do.
I love that, part of who you are, because the goal isn't really to have a good routine. The goal is to become someone who lives that way naturally.
Identity-based change. Instead of saying, I want to exercise more, you say, I am someone who moves their body every day.
Yes, the shift from I want to do this to this is who I am. That's where the real transformation happens.
Okay, so let me ask you something. For people listening right now, and I know many of our listeners are students, people with jobs, people with families, who genuinely feel like they don't have time for a routine, what would you say to them?
I would say start with 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, because the biggest mistake people make is thinking they need a 2-hour morning routine with meditation, exercise, journaling, cold showers, and green juice.
The Instagram morning routine.
Exactly, the perfectly aesthetic, perfectly filtered Instagram morning routine. But that's not real life for most people. In real life, you might have kids who wake up early. You might have a long commute. You might be working night shifts.
Totally. So you meet yourself where you are.
Exactly. Meet yourself where you are. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Just find 5 minutes. Maybe it's right before bed. Maybe it's during your lunch break. And do something intentionally for yourself.
And consistency beats intensity every time. Doing something small every day is far more powerful than doing something big once a week.
Say that again, Michael, because that is so important.
Consistency beats intensity. Doing something small every single day is more powerful than doing something big occasionally.
That should be printed on a wall somewhere.
It really should.
Okay, so we've talked about mornings and evenings, but what about the middle of the day? Because I know a lot of people struggle with the afternoon slump.
Oh, the afternoon slump is real. For people who don't know, the afternoon slump is that feeling you get, usually between 2 and 4 p.m., where your energy just crashes. You feel tired, unfocused, and like you could take a nap right there at your desk.
It's almost like your body just says, okay, I'm done for today.
Exactly. And I used to fight it with coffee, cup after cup of coffee, which, as we discussed, would then mess with my sleep, which would make me more tired the next day.
That vicious cycle again.
That vicious cycle again. So now what I do instead is I take a real break, not a stare at my phone break, a genuine rest. Sometimes a 10 to 20-minute nap if I can, or just closing my eyes and doing some slow breathing for a few minutes.
The power nap. I was always skeptical of power naps because I thought, what can I really accomplish in 20 minutes? But it's remarkable, isn't it? You wake up feeling like a completely new person.
Like someone hit the reset button on your brain. And there's actually a lot of research showing that short naps under 30 minutes can significantly improve focus, creativity, and mood.
And if you can't nap, maybe you're at work or you're with people, even just stepping outside for 5 minutes, getting some fresh air and natural light can really help.
Movement helps too. Even just standing up and walking around for a few minutes gets your blood flowing and wakes your brain up.
Which brings up something I've started doing, and I was honestly a bit embarrassed about it at first. I started taking short walks after lunch, just 10 minutes around the block or even just around the office building.
And does it help?
It's transformed my afternoons. I come back from that walk feeling focused and energized. And it turns out there's actually research on this too. A short walk after eating helps with digestion and with blood sugar levels, which directly affects your energy and focus.
So it's not just good for your mind, it's good for your body too. A 2-for-1, as they say.
Exactly, 2 for 1, getting 2 benefits from 1 action. Very efficient.
Now, I want to talk about something that I think is really important and doesn't get discussed enough when people talk about routines. And that's the evening before, like preparing for the next day.
Oh yes, the lay out your life the night before strategy.
Exactly. So one habit that made a huge difference for me was spending just 10 minutes at night preparing for the next morning. I'd look at my schedule, write a short list of the 3 most important things I needed to do the next day, and I'd lay out anything I needed, my gym clothes, my bag, whatever.
So when you wake up, there's no friction. No standing in the kitchen at 6 a.m. thinking, what do I need today? Where did I put that? You've already done that thinking.
Exactly. And reducing friction is a concept that I think about a lot. The idea is, if you make good habits easier to do, you'll do them more. And if you make bad habits harder to do, you'll do them less.
That's really smart. Like if you want to eat healthier, you put fruit on the counter, and you put the cookies in a cupboard you rarely open.
Precisely. Out of sight, out of mind. The healthy option is the easy option.
And applied to routines, if your running shoes are right next to your bed, it's easier to go for a morning run. If your journal is on your pillow, you're more likely to write before bed.
Set up your environment for the person you want to become.
I love that. Set up your environment for the person you want to become. Not the person you are now, but the person you're working toward being.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to ask you one more thing. What's the single biggest mindset shift that happened for you when you changed your routine? Not a practical tip, but a shift in how you think.
That's a deep question. Let me think. I think the biggest shift for me was moving from a reactive mindset to a proactive mindset.
Explain that.
So reactive means you're always responding to what happens to you. Someone messages you and you respond immediately. Something goes wrong and you react emotionally. Your day is controlled by outside events. You feel like a ball being kicked around.
And proactive?
Proactive means you're making things happen rather than letting things happen to you. You decide how your morning starts. You decide what you focus on. You set your intentions before the world has a chance to set them for you.
That's powerful. And I think that's really the essence of what a good daily routine does. It gives you that sense of ownership over your own life.
Yes, and it's not about being perfect. It's not about having a flawless, Instagram-worthy morning every single day. Some days things go wrong. You oversleep. Your kid is sick. Life happens.
But when you have a routine, even an imperfect day has some structure, some anchor points that keep you grounded.
Exactly. Anchor points. Things you can always return to. For me, even on a chaotic day, if I can drink my water, take my short walk, and write 3 lines in my journal, I feel like I've done something for myself, and that matters.
It does matter. Small things done consistently, they build up, like compound interest in a bank account. You don't see the results immediately, but over months and years, the growth is extraordinary.
That's one of the best analogies for habits I've ever heard. Compound interest for your life.
Steal it, use it, tell your friends.
I will, absolutely.
Okay, everyone, before we go, let's quickly revisit some of the great expressions and vocabulary from today's conversation, because repetition is how you remember, right?
Absolutely. So let's go through them quickly.
Number 1, chasing the day. This means feeling like you're always behind, always running after your schedule. I woke up late and spent the whole day chasing it.
Number 2, burned out, completely exhausted and emotionally drained. After 6 months without a holiday, she was completely burned out.
Number 3, something shifted. A subtle internal change, often in mindset or emotion. After a week of early mornings, something shifted and I actually started to enjoy it.
Number 4, night owl and early bird. A night owl stays up late and works best at night. An early bird wakes up early and is most productive in the morning. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
Number 5, groggy and foggy-headed. Feeling unclear, confused, or slow, especially after poor sleep. I only got 4 hours of sleep and I felt groggy all morning.
Number 6, vicious cycle. A situation where one problem causes another, which then makes the first worse. Stress leads to bad sleep, which leads to more stress. It's a vicious cycle.
Number 7, meet yourself where you are. Accept your current situation without judgment and work from there. Don't try to do too much at once. Meet yourself where you are.
And number 8, consistency beats intensity. Small, regular actions over time are more powerful than big, occasional efforts. Say it with us, everyone. Consistency beats intensity.
Beautiful. Those are some seriously useful expressions right there.
And hey, if you're finding this helpful, if this conversation is helping your English improve, please take 2 seconds and hit that like button. It really does make a huge difference for the channel.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We make these conversations regularly, and every single one is designed to help your English sound more natural, more fluent, and more confident.
Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. We put a lot of love into these for you.
Okay, now it's your turn. We have some questions for you to think about, and we really want you to answer in the comments. This is your speaking and writing practice right here.
Question 1. What is your current morning routine? Do you have one? Or do you feel like your mornings are a little bit chaotic?
Question 2. Are you more of a morning person, an early bird, or a night owl? And do you think that affects your productivity?
Question 3. Is there one habit, just one, that you think would make the biggest difference in your daily life if you started doing it consistently?
And question 4. What's the hardest part about sticking to a routine for you? Is it motivation, time, discipline, life getting in the way?
We read every single comment. We really do. So write your answers below and let's have a conversation.
And before we go, let's do one final thing. I'm going to say the expression, and Sarah is going to use it in a natural sentence. Ready?
Ready.
Chasing the day.
I used to wake up at noon and spend the rest of the day chasing it. Nothing ever got done.
Perfect. Burned out.
She took a 2-week break from work because she was completely burned out.
Love it. Consistency beats intensity.
You don't need to run a marathon on day 1. Consistency beats intensity. Even a 10-minute walk every day will change your health over time.
Excellent. Everyone, try using these in your own sentences in the comments. That's how language becomes yours, not by memorizing, but by using.
Michael, this has been such a great conversation today. I feel like I just had a really honest, real talk with a good friend.
That's always the goal. We want this to feel like a real conversation. Not a lesson, not a lecture, just 2 people talking about real life.
And that's what learning English should feel like. Natural, enjoyable, human.
To everyone listening right now, whether you're in your kitchen, on the bus, at the gym, or lying in bed, thank you for spending this time with us. Your English is improving every single time you listen. Don't underestimate that.
And remember, small steps, taken consistently, create extraordinary change, whether that's in your English learning journey or in your daily routine.
So tell us in the comments, what's one thing from today's conversation that you want to try? One expression you want to use, one habit you want to start, or just say hello. We love hearing from you.
We'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.